Hi guys, welcome to the next video in the AI engineering series. In the last video, we covered Python types like int, float, string, list, dict, and more. Now we go deeper into Python. Let's try to figure out how do we actually run this Python code before. And for AI engineers, there is one tool that stands out above everything else is the Google Colab, where we don't need any installation, no setup, just a browser and a Google account. So Google Colab is a free online Python environment that runs entirely in your browser. But here's the part that makes Colab special for AI engineers specifically is that it gives you free access to a GPU. Now, training AI models requires some serious computing, and we need GPU for that. GPUs can cost thousands of dollars. Colab gives you one GPU for free in the browser in seconds. That's why every AI tutorial, every research notebook, almost everything we see in this space runs on Colab. Opening Colab is simple. Go to Google and search for Google Colab. Click on it. You get a button here, new notebook. I've already logged in here, so I need to log in. When you click on new notebook, you get an interface like this. What we are looking at here is like a Jupyter notebook style. The interface is built around cells. Each cell is an independent block of code that you can run one at a time. Here you run one cell, see the output, then run the next. It's more like an interactive conversation with Python than a program execution. Click inside the cell and you can type the Python code here and click on the play button here and you can see the output below. Then you can run another piece of code here and see the output below. Now the entire notebook shares one runtime. So the variables that are defined here in the second cell, they're actually available in the first cell also. You can see the value of x is showing here in the first cell while we define it in the second cell. Now this is exactly how AI engineers work. They find data in one cell, then pre-process in the next, run some analysis in another. Each step is visible, each step is separate, and each step is independently testable also. Now the part everyone comes for in the collab is the free GPU. By default, the collab runs on a CPU. To switch to GPU, we need to click on the runtime and then change runtime type and then select T4 GPU here from the hardware accelerator and save. So now our runtime is connected to our GPU. Now to confirm whether we are connected to GPU, we can use something called TensorFlow and its method called list physical devices. Here we can mention GPU. So if there is any, it will show here the list of GPUs that we are connected with. So you can see this is connected to a GPU and it is listing here a physical device. While here, this is not connected to GPU, it's just connected to CPU. You can see when we run this code, it shows as empty list here. That means this is not connected to GPU, while the other one is connected to GPU. So this is the way we can verify. Now the next question is, you can ask, what is the benefit we get after enabling GPU? A GPU was originally built for graphics, rendering millions of pixels on screen simultaneously. To do that, it needs to run thousands of simple calculations in parallel at the run time. Now, it turns out that even training and running AI models is exactly the same kind of work, multiplying millions of numbers in parallel over and over, which is precisely what a GPU is built for. Now, each GPU has thousands and lakhs of cores inside it. They can run parallelly. That's why a task that takes 10 minutes on a CPU can finish in maybe 2 or 3 seconds on a GPU. So the same code, same result, just dramatically faster. Thousands of cores present inside GPU. That is the magic. And we just got one GPU for free here in Google Colab. Now let's see how we can actually use that for our benefit. So we'll try to run a model, real AI model in this GPU. So for that, first we need to install a transformers library. This is the command pip install transformers. It will install the transformers library here. And then we can write this code here. Import the transformers, then create a pipeline and give a model or GPT-2 that we want to load. And then we can give a prompt here with a pipeline and get the output. And we're printing the output here. This is the code that will load the model and then execute our prompt. So what is this GPT-2? It is a text generation model which is built by OpenAI. You give it the beginning of a sentence and it predicts what comes next. It is a bit older and smaller compared to what's out there today, but a real AI model running on a real hardware, what I'm showing here. Now, the next question that you can ask is from where this GPT-2 model came? It came from Hugging Face. So, what is Hugging Face? Think of it as a GitHub or a repository of AI models. Thousands of models freely available to download from Hugging Face. There is one point to note that every model on Hugging Face has a unique identifier. For GPT-2, identifier is simply GPT-2. When Python sees model equals to GPT-2 here, it goes to huggingface.com slash GPT-2, downloads the model and loads them onto our GPU. We'll cover Hugging Face and the Transformers library both properly later in some series. That's but the code that the model that we're running now, it's a real AI model that we just executed on a real GPU in our browser. And that's also for free. So pretty interesting. To summarize, Colab is a free online Python environment that runs in our browser. In just 2 clicks, we get a GPU and we saw that GPU is powerful enough to download a real AI model from Hugging Face and run it in 3 lines of code. Now, Colab uses something called a Jupyter style interface we just mentioned briefly today. In the next video, we will set up a Jupyter notebook locally on a machine, on our machine, and we'll see how exactly it runs under the hood. Until then, open Colab, create a notebook, and run your Python code. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe if you liked the video. See you in the next one.